conversation going. We are going to have Randall, Joshua, and Nicholas up here talking about SFC Secrets Revealed.
Yep, family meeting. So, did you have some more?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so essentially it's a family meeting. You care about this mission, you care about this organization. You're all here for a reason, a reason why you're here. So you should care about how the organization is doing, what the organization is doing, what we're not doing.
I made it like
Randy likes to talk about it like it's a church members meeting. If you're involved in a church, you're a member of that church, you go to that church, you should go to the meeting where they talk about what is going on at the church. So we're happy that you're here to hear about what's going on at the SFC.
Yeah, and this is the one where you can ask questions if you want. Just raise your hand or shout.
We would prefer if the question was relevant to something that we were talking about.
Yep. Moving on.
No, you talk now. I moved the thing.
No, again, pass this one.
Oh, dang it.
Okay, so here's like a quick recap. We sent out, raise your hand if you got the annual report in the mail. Yeah, so we sent the thing out. We decided that's a new thing this year, and it said these numbers, but we did want to do just a quick roundup of what this is the global numbers of what the family of SFC looked like last season. Do you want to read the numbers to them?
Yeah, no, they can read. Which one are you most excited about, Randy?
I didn't expect you to ask me that. 300 volunteers, that's amazing. Yeah, come on, let's go ahead and pat. If there's someone in front of you, pat them. Pat the person in front of you.
No, don't touch your neighbors without asking. That's assault, brother.
This is, I would say, this is one that we've been talking a lot about recently, the old ski resorts.
For those of you that are over here, he's pointing at this one.
Yeah. The 110 ski resorts, that's about 5-ish% market share of the 2,000 ski resorts in the world. Pretty impressive, but it's kind of an easy number to wrap our head around as we're praying to say, man, if there was somebody praying for taking responsibility, showing up at all 2,000 of the ski resorts in the world, that you could reasonably say, backcountry people, I guess that's hard to, they ski at ski resorts largely do, that every snowboarder or skier in the world could possibly have an opportunity to become a follower of Jesus if we made it to that number. And so that's definitely one that I think we're paying attention to, and someone that I think we'd love to commit to pray towards together.
Absolutely.
Right, you are.
Moving on. About 400. There's about 400 resorts in the U.S.
What do you want?
I don't know. You do this one.
Secrets revealed. It's sort of a question and answer session, so ask away. We may not know the answers. Maybe it's not a question and answer session. Maybe it's just a question session.
Please
Moving
ask
on.
all your questions.
No, yeah, go ahead, question. That's fine.
Tell about this one, Josh.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm the finance guy. Yeah, since I'm the
Everyone
finance
calls him
guy.
that. Josh, the finance guy.
Boo. Next screen. Why did you give me the mic for this? I'm the financial guy. So last year sucked. Shoot. Last year was really rough. We ended up like 30K not in the red technically, but so every year we say, okay, this year we're planning to raise X amount of dollars, and it's just sort of up to us to go and find that money. Last year we were trying to raise 310, I think was our entire 340.
300.
No, it was 310, and then we hit 280.
$310,000
Yes.
to clear that up.
Yes, to clarify. No, we didn't spend the extra 30. We just didn't raise the 30 that we had hoped. The last 30. Okay, scratch that. All in favor? Yes. Of course we spend the extra money that we didn't have. They're called credit cards, Marcus. We don't use them. Anyway, so sometimes there was one year where a particular donor was given money, and each year he upped his donation, and then he was given like half of what was coming in each year. This is whatever 6-8 years ago, and then all of a sudden the next year he's like, "Hey, next year we can't give anything." So half of the budget dropped out immediately, and we're like, "Oh, what do we do now? How do we fill that?" And so since then we've diversified. We have lots of. It was in the annual report. You can see where all of our donations come from now. It's less of the one big donor giving big X chunk and more small donations coming in, so that if one person pulls out, now it's a smaller donation. So you learn lessons the hard way, I guess.
Tell them about the thing we did, though.
What thing we did?
So one of our goals that we set. So we set goals every June to start for the next year in July. So our goals go throughout the winter season in North America or in the Northern Hemisphere. One of our main goals was to cut 30 and add 30. We wanted to add 30 in new donations, $30,000. And we haven't cut 30 yet because the season's not over. We haven't measured that part yet. But we have added $30,000 new money, new donations since July 1st of this year. So that's pretty huge. And the way that we did that was ask-a-thon. We made a list of people that had given in the past but hadn't given yet this year, and we called them. We said, "You've given to support this thing. You supported in the past. You know what we do. Please give again." We didn't beg like that. We put it in way better words, but yeah, we might have begged. But it was super fruitful. It worked.
It sucked at the time, though.
Yeah, it did suck a lot of time, and it was a task that Josh and Randy and I took on. We made a list of like 200 people or something like that. And
These guys are underselling all the work that they did here, and I just want to make sure we all give these guys credit. This whole budget, yes, give it up for these three.
nobody stood up.
Yes. So these guys, what was your number? Like, how many calls did you make a day?
I don't know how many per day, but it was like, what, 200...
220 people.
Yeah, 220 people.
So like all this
on the
budget
list.
that makes all of this stuff happen comes from like the dedication of these guys, and like it's just super rad. And I just want to make sure you guys we understand that, because I think being at a chapter or in a region away from these guys, we kind of take some of this for granted. But like these guys can do work that's really fun and really filling, and they chose to get on phones and take risk and be vulnerable and just call people and be like, we need help. So that's huge. So thank you guys.
You're welcome.
Moving on.
So is SFC debt free?
SFC is debt free.
Have we ever taken on debt?
Well, we have a credit card, but we have the money in the bank and the points, you see. The points. Don't tell Dave Ramsey. Don't tell. It's for the points.
That's acceptable.
No, thank you. Okay.
It's not spending money we don't have. We just spend it over here and have it over there.
Okay, Randy, this is you.
Yeah, and so these are the goals. We set goals in 5 areas. So first one's the finances. Nick just described those ones. The movement direction, organizing the board of directors. We're gonna get into who those people are briefly in just a second. And just a board helps set our goals and helps support us. And so it's trying to find people that are doing that well. Staff management. It's tough. Nick moved to Spokane. You gotta pick up the phone and call him now. Taylor lives in Aspen, trying to figure out ways to work well together, make sure we're communicating well. So we've been setting goals in those areas. Training resources and events. So that's includes this one. This includes the trail map. This includes the resources that we're working to provide for you all. What Ryan Leeds is doing with the leadership development program, and so on and so forth. and then faith. And so, kind of a theme I heard over in this corner of the room with the one-on-one mentoring, and I've heard from Jay Fast earlier, is that it's one of those things that as we're making disciples, you can't fake it. You can't, it's really hard, and it's not going to work out if you're trying to pull someone along in this faith journey if you're not pursuing Jesus yourself. And so we've got goals as a team to be digging in the Word together, holding one another up. That usually looks like Bible plans on the Bible app and sharing notes, but it works for our team. And so that's what we're working on that way. Go ahead, Nick.
Let me tell you
Josh,
what is going
go.
on in SFC and other
Since I'm not
countries.
the finance guy and I had to do the finance thing, why don't you tell us about what's happening with SFC internationally, Nick?
Yeah, so there
Thanks,
was
Nick.
a Euro conference
Next
in
up,
camps.
we got
there was
the
a Whistler
hot bod.
Summit and Sustaining Movement in Canada. There's a slow restart in New Zealand and Chilean camps. Yep, that's what's going on internationally.
Does anybody actually have any questions about international stuff? So 2 years ago, we went back to New Zealand and shot that documentary, the Legends documentary, with all the founders. And out of that just sort of sparked a couple of the old guys who said, man, if there's any young people that still want to do this, I'd be keen to sort of help them hold their hand through a restart of SFC in New Zealand. So there were some old guys who were helping some young guys do the thing the last 2 seasons. It's been struggling though, because it's still small beginnings, small re-beginnings. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I'll take one for the team. I'll go to New Zealand.
Do it.
Actually, no, stay in Vermont.
It's one of those things though, it's for us in the Northern Hemisphere, it seems like everybody's like, oh dude, I want to go to Chile, I want to go to Australia, I want to go to New Zealand, I want to go to these other places, but the grass is no greener. Actually, the snow is less white because it's usually brown and muddy. But the grass is no greener on the other side. There's lots of people just coming through. It's a super transient culture, and people feel lonely. And it's really hard to be a missionary in a place where everybody comes and goes. People promise the world and never deliver, and just like all of you deal with. We live in these transient ski towns, and it's no different in New Zealand, Australia, Chile, anywhere in the world. And so everywhere we go, people are like, man, I just feel like I'm flying solo. And it's the best thing we can do is just be like, man, stick it out. We're here for you. And what we do, what these guys and I do, the 5 of us who work full-time for the ministry, we're just a support office. We're not a headquarters. We're not barking these orders down the chain of commands. We're saying, hey, we're behind you. What can we do? What can we provide to just make it easier for you? What kind of support can we give you? Is it building resources? Is it just a phone call to say, hey man, I'm praying for, what can I pray for you this week? And so what we do is just support. The reason we call people and ask people for money is not because we just want a paycheck or we want to go have fun somewhere or whatever. It's like, we care about you guys. We're just a support office. We go and ask for money because we believe in what you do. We believe in every one of you, and we believe what you do, and that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. Sorry, am I preaching?
I almost stopped you, and then I said, people like this.
Can we go back to finances?
People like it when you do that.
The things I'm knowledgeable about?
Yvonne's got a question.
Sorry.
So, if someone does want to go check out New Zealand, there's quite often opportunities to go with you to help on a time travel or to go and encourage. So it's never off the block.
Yeah.
It's something that's
Yeah, and we've got these time travel manuals back here. They're the funky little things that say, well, I don't even know what they say. Confidential, classified. We do this thing called time travel, and that's essentially
Way
my
to tee that one up, Yvonne.
job. Yeah, way to tee that up. Thanks. You're the best. And time stands for talk, invest, mentor, and encourage. So literally, we get in a van or we get on an airplane or whatever, and we go to a location where we have some people who need some help. We sit down, go eat with them. The E should have been eat, by the way. But we go, we sit down, we chat with people. We're like, dude, what's going on here in Jindabyne, Australia? What's going on here in whatever, France, I can't pronounce. And if you have a heart for somewhere, just be like, hey, is anything going on in France? Yeah, sure. Nick
Josh's
at
email is
sfcusa.org.
josh@sfc.internet.
Just email Nick. He'll figure it out.
Your dream resort that you had answered that you want to go to, if you're serious about it, have finances, or want to ever do anything, email Josh and say, this is my dream place. If you ever want to do this.
Who's interested in that in like a time, like kind of a more exotic time travel sort of situation?
Exotic? What are we talking about?
No, Thailand.
I sleep on floors. This is not, we're not.
Kind of a lot. Let's
Kidding me?
let's
Who
go
wants
do
an
that.
exotic
We'll
trip
think
with
through that.
Josh and sleep on floors and eat ramen noodles?
Listen,
Instant
Josh
coffee.
and I share a bed more
one,
than
two,
you could imagine.
100. Exotic trip. Sorry.
Moving
Nick.
on,
Nick's
moving
telling
on.
us to move on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do this.
There are lots of people who are traveling places. These guys all visit. I mean, part of the regional director's job is to go and visit groups throughout the year. Tag along. Like, I mean, it's super fun to hop in a van with a bunch of your buddies and drink crappy coffee, drive through the night. You know, show up and go shred at a place and be like, dude, take us to your favorite burrito store, you know, whatever. Like, let's just go and do the thing. These road trips are actually way more encouraging for people. Like, it's almost like, has anybody ever done a trip to, missions trip to Mexico or whatever the thing is? Like, you come back feeling like, man, I was so blessed by that. I thought I had this stuff to go and offer these people, and I came back just so encouraged and so inspired. Like, that happens all the time. I thought he was talking about me behind my back, in front of my back. But that happens all the time. And we want to encourage you guys, like, go to the next ski town over. Go visit the next chapter away or a couple chapters away and just show up. Like, I mean, what we do is we talk. It's super simple. We talk. We invest. We're like, dude, can I grab a shovel and help you dig out or whatever? We mentor, so we take other people along, and then we encourage people. We just try and invest into people and leave them better off than when before we visited them. So
We're gonna
sorry.
move.
Yeah,
we're gonna
no.
move on.
Go ahead, move on. But I have the thing, so good luck. Gosh. Okay, the hot bod. This is our board of directors.
Don Chastain stand up? Is he around?
Where's the hot bod? Don
Don
Chastain.
Chastain.
Don Chastain.
Yeah.
The hot bod. Randy and I made these slides like 20 minutes ago while you guys were in another
It's
meeting,
true.
so we're sort of losing it a little bit.
Our goal is 7, and these are the people that it's more of a directing type board. It's these are people who can think strategically, globally, but understand the need in the shred culture and can help us guide the mission and ideally go to bat for us in different ways, whether it's through fundraising or through experience and events or making introductions. And we sit down, we meet 3 times a year, and we film what's going on, and we make some big decisions together. There's 2 open spots right now. We're in discussion with a 6th, there are vacancies, and so if you want to talk about what that looks like for maybe someone you know, for yourself, if just there's someone that you think, man, I think this person has a lot of wisdom, they have a heart, they'd understand this, let us know who that person might be, and we'd be interested to journey through that and discuss with them what it looks like. And so there's an opening or 2. I guess you don't know who those people are, but we like the ones. We like them.
Don's right there.
Don is right there.
Mike Jeffs is a friend of ours. He runs. Oh, sorry. Mike Jeffs is an Australian guy who is a longtime friend who runs the Australian Christian channel, so Christian TV station in Australia. Josh Stock is some goober. Sean Gruenhagen is the Vans Rocky Mountain rep. He's a believer. He loves Jesus, and he's been working in the industry for
He sells the
his whole
shoes.
life. Sells the shoes and boots. Andrew Emery is another friend of ours who is a
Camp dad.
camp dad. Yeah, dad of Grom, mom of Grom, dad of Grom. His kid has come through a bunch of our camps and stuff, and he just sees what we do and loves what we do, and he's got a financial head on him, so he helps us talk through that stuff. And then these 2 blank spaces are mystery.
All right, your name.
Secrets revealed. I'll write your name, of course. Yeah, Taylor Swift. Okay, moving on. SFC's biggest needs.
So one of the cool things that one of our board members does, Andrew Emery, is that he sends out a prayer email every single month. How many of you get that email?
Hey,
Cool.
neat.
Yeah. Thank you. It needs to be
How do you
everyone.
sign up for the prayer newsletter list, Nick?
That's a very good question. If you email Nick at sfcusa.org, I'll put you on the list.
Got him.
And I might. Does anyone here opt out of the prayer request email? Gus, you're already on it. Okay, everyone's getting added to it. Does anyone opt out?
Raise your hand if you want to not be added to it.
Does anyone not want to be added to the
peer
regular
pressure.
SFC USA newsletter
You're
email?
going to have to
Raise your hand.
unsubscribe or face the shame.
Cool, you're all getting added
Okay.
to the USA newsletter. All right. So, but it's a monthly. Andrew emails Randy and Josh and I, texts us and says, "Hey, what do you need prayer for?" He posts on the Facebook group, "What do you need prayer for?" And whoever answers, yeah, the Facebook group. So if anyone ever replies to that, your prayer request gets put into an email and sent out to roughly 200 people. That number needs to be higher. And people pray for you. So we need more. We need more prayer support. We need more people praying for you guys. We need more people praying for this organization and for this mission all over the world.
Another thing we need is people who get it. And that you guys are the people who get it. People who are living this on the front lines. But we'd love to see more of you, more people in more places, making disciples of Jesus, being a light on the hill. So share what you're doing, pass out the new trail map to people, casting vision for what it looks like to live out the mission of being this light of Jesus. And so I'm going to skip over the financial support one for a second. The administrative support one is similar. It's we need help with lots of things. I'm going to pick on a couple people. David Ashley Downing. Dave, could you raise your hand? He's wearing a blue hat. Looks like that. He's done all the graphic stuff for this conference
beautiful.
and all the things you've seen for next to nothing. So there's people around us. Andrew doing the email newsletter. There's all sorts of like tasks and jobs around. Ben Johnston. Can everyone look at Ben also? And the Bens. Raise your hands. The Bens.
The Bens.
I've done graphic support. The regional directors are entirely a volunteer team. Not a single one of them takes a dime out of this. It's, they're guys making phone calls and gals. Yeah, making phone calls, sending emails, doing stuff. And we did, just as this grows, that we need more of it. So if you have a skill you want to share with us, if you think we suck at something that you're good at, Mark Breglio has helped us with AdWords. That's what he does for a job. You just like all sorts of whatever you can do. Like, we don't know what we're doing about any of this stuff.
We want you.
We want you. So, and then that's the last thing is the financial support, whether that's you or your great aunt Sally, or you want to share it with, or whatever. It's as this thing grows, to fly places and print trail maps and all the things, it takes the money. You guys get that, and so if you'd be praying that with us, whether it's for yourself or for someone that'd be great. We have a thing about that. We do. The 50-50 program, Josh.
Hey. So a long time ago, I thought this was a clever idea, and then I didn't do it. Must not have been very clever, or I wasn't motivated enough. Anyway, we had this idea of trying to find 50 people to give $50 a month. We said a 50-50, like on a box out here, is like technically the easiest. It's the simplest trick. It's like the basic trick for snowboarding is a 50-50. You just sort of ride straight and ride straight off. If you do it successfully. That's what a 50-50 is. But it's sort of the foundation of park tricks. Jibbing tricks is a 50-50. So you're like, man, the foundation of what we need is just with financial support is it's the absolute basics. If we could find 50 people who said, man, I just want to help with the absolute basics. I believe in the support that you guys are giving across the world to thousands of volunteers and hundreds of leaders and over 50 places. We just want to help. So we had this idea, and we said, what if we decided to do this? So, Randy, I don't know what these are.
Oh, okay. So there.
Save me.
This
Somebody
is a
take
graph.
the microphone.
This is a graph that explains that.
This is a graph.
that puts numbers into a visualization.
Numbers. Visualization.
You can see that roughly the same type of pace as there's more of you, people who get it, people who are doing things. But the chapters is easiest to measure because the one-off guy living the vision is hard to measure. So as we're getting chapters, we're spending more money. This was the mistake we made this last year. That was the bad one. But roughly the expenses and the funding is
the
going
upswing
up.
of the anyway. There's an upswing.
Inversely proportional to the
Gosh.
inline rotary girder. And then this is where the money that does come in comes from. I think sometimes people get this idea that maybe it's like there's these like churches that do the giving, or that there's like a really rich guy in West Virginia
No, it's
that does
you
like the
guys.
giving or something. It's not. It's really just mostly people. 70% people, like random moms and dads and snowboarders and skiers, that think this is important, and they give $50 a month or $100 a month, but $50 a month.
That's what we're shooting for, Randy.
Or
100. Whatever. Shoot, we'll take your money. Just whatever the. Can I get a 200? Yeah, like Randy said, we've got all these people. We have thousands of volunteers, hundreds of leaders. We've got lots of people, and our support office goal, we always say, is to equip, encourage, and exemplify Christ-centered ministry in the shred culture. We have this printed out, and we talk about this all the time. If some idea comes up, we're like, I don't know, does it fit into our? This is like our mantra, around the office. So yeah, the 50-50 we're calling it, and. We used to go to like football games every Friday night. That's when we were kids. So there's always a 50-50, they do like the raffle things.
Football.
Yeah, so we were like, what if like we only have space for 50 people, whatever. I mean, the reason we're doing this is not to whatever for prizes, but prizes are fun. I was like, I don't know, it's a fun play on words. So we're gonna get a bunch of boards and skis and just random things, and at the end of the year raffle them off because we thought that would be fun, clever.
Absolutely.
Anyway, and there's a fancy new website apparently.
Yeah, the Bens designed this for us. They
Or, well, it's a
work
web
us
page,
through it.
technically. It's a web
If
page.
you feel compelled to give, you've prayed about it, you've thought about it, you want to support this base level of SFC, or you told your mom about it, the way to do that is sfcusa.org/5050. You will find this new donation page. You can spell 50 in whatever way you want. You can spell it out, F-I-F-T-Y, F-I-F-T-Y, where you do
There
the
you go.
numbers.
You're a
5050.
genius, Nick. You're pretty much.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Sign your mom up, get her credit card.
Find your
and
mom's
you
credit
can have
card.
the prizes.
Put it into the thing. Your name and address. Wink, wink. You've done this before, Loyal. Actually, one time I won a car and my dad. No, never. Long story.
So to continue with this is our year-end fundraising push. This is where we're going to help support the base of SFC to continue growing to where we can feel like we're in a good position financially. We're going to send it out on Giving Tuesday. We're going to share it throughout the rest of the year, try to capture some of that end-of-year giving. But you'll probably see more of this because I'm going to sign you all up for the newsletter.
That's right. Raising money's not anyone's favorite. Actually, hold on. Is anyone's favorite thing raising money? Seriously?
Let's talk.
Good gravy. Let's just talk about this.
I volunteer for my local fire company. I'm the fundraising committee chair. We just actually had our.
God bless us, everyone.
I volunteer because I lost my house to a fire.
Jeebers.
So I give back to my local volunteer firefighter community and EMS, and we had our largest fundraiser of the year. Andrew Emery actually just joined our fire company.
Really?
Yeah.
And I
Cheapers.
twice a month at the sale.
What a guy.
And so he is now EMS.
That's
emergency
crazy.
medical services. So it was our largest fundraiser here on Wednesday, and we raised around $35,000.
Hot dang.
Oh, good job.
Well, let's talk after this. We can, we'll talk. It's not.
Doing all of the things that
Right.
I do a few cold calls.
Okay.
Mostly cold emails.
Okay, well,
But yeah.
what about cold
We do
cuts?
those too.
Cold cuts are delicious too. Okay.
I like doing it, and it's actually really fun.
Email Nick at sfcusa.org.
I'll take that email.
No, that's all. That's all. Does anybody else have any other questions for us?
Questions about anything and
Housekeeping.
everything.
This is his computer. We can like log
Yeah, go ahead. Just throw it.
Hey, Josh.
Yes.
That 50/50, is that on the website?
Yes.
SFCUSA.org/5050. No.
No, but we want to cap it at 50 just to make it legitimate.
Yeah.
When 50 are done, then 50 are
so
done.
get in, because you might not be fast enough. It
Get
could be
in.
gone.
Or
It
fit
could be
in.
gone.
Fit
It
in
might
or
already
get
be.
in.
You got to get in it. Go.
Ready?
Sign up.
Yeah,
right now.
sure.
Go.
Gosh, we got 50 minutes to. Yeah. We're not going to do one of those things here. It's a year commitment, yeah. Monthly is how we prefer it because then it helps us to budget.
50 people
It does.
times $50 times 12 months is that 30,000.
Yes.
I'm not a math magician.
Don't ask Josh those math questions.
30 grand. I don't know. Actually, it is because 600 is a yearly amount and times 50 is 30,000.
However you want to do
Look
the
at
math,
that. I actually
it's
did that.
30,000.
Any other questions about math?
Please, more questions.
Dylan, take us away.
I just need to, most people know about social media outlets.
The social media outlets.
Follow us on the SocMeds. SocMeds.
But Dylan said it when only half of you are here. There's a group. It's called SFC North America Connection Page. And that's like, we post a lot of conference things. We post a lot of the secrets there first. There's sometimes prayer requests. It's like, that's the Facebooky place for you if you want to connect with this community. It's a really nice spot to do that.
We also have an Instagram page at SFC International. We've got Facebook pages. We have a Twitter that doesn't get used. We don't tweet. Most of our chapters have social medias as well. Go follow them.
Off the stage. You guys have taken enough of the night. Taken enough. They like their attention too much out. It's just on. Thank you guys.